Hello, hello. I think I'm here. Am I here? Hi, everyone. I think I'm here. Yeah, that looks like me. Alright. You may be wondering why I don't have a picture. It's because I don't have light in here. So I could turn my camera on, but you wouldn't see anything. Yeah, hi! This is Organ Mike. I am coming to you from Treaty 1 territory, the home of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe, Innu, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the heart of the Red River Métis Nation. And with honor and respect, I recognize the dangers and damage that colonialism has done to these peoples throughout history, and hope that what little I can do here does something to remedy that situation. Or at least does no further harm. So, what am I doing here? I am playing Ultima 4 for Retrothon, and I am doing so with the task randomizer. So you might notice... Where's my window? Where's my interactable window? Why is my interactable window gone? OBS does funny things sometimes. Yeah. Hello. Where's my interactable window? It is hiding behind my game. That's why. Okay. You might notice on the left side of the screen there is an interactable browser window. Interactable to me. If you click on it, you'll probably just pause the stream on Twitch. So I can click on it and make things happen. Like, bring up the next... Yeah, see? So we've got a list of 45 tasks, all of which are to be completed in the order which they are provided. And, yeah, the plan is to do that. So the task randomizer was made in part... well, not in part. It was made by Cloudy Shoe, who's an Ultima 6 runner, and who runs the Ultima 6 randomizer, as well as other Ultima 6 related things. I had the idea. Cloudy Shoe did all the actual work. So, yeah. Anytime I click on the latest thing, it gives me, and then eventually the list keeps going and going. And if I ever wanted to see all the steps, there's the All the Steps button. And of course, item 45 is find the Codex of Infinite Wisdom, of Ultimate Wisdom. Ultimate? The Codex. Find the Codex, and we will solve the game. Now, we're going to generate a new task list. I don't know what's in this task list. And I will do the tasks one at a time in order and reveal the next task every time I finish the previous one. So here we go. We're going to generate a new task list. Recruit the Druid. So we're going to take a Druid. There's a 2-hour, 45-minute estimate on this. That is because if I got the Fighter or Shepherd, that is about the length of time it takes to do a Fighter or Shepherd run. A Druid is a spellcaster. That makes life a lot easier, or at least a lot faster. The Tinker is kind of the midpoint of that. So the Tinker takes about an extra 15 minutes, but most spellcasters, the Mage, Druid, Bard, Paladin, or Ranger, should take about 2 hours. So, hopefully we'll gain you back a little time here. Chat, anyone there, please feel free to give me a character name. Anyone got one? Whilst I enjoy my water. How's everyone doing tonight? So this is a vanilla version of Ultima 4. The music you're hearing is all music I've written. It is obviously copyright free for me to use it because I wrote it. Okay, with no suggestions popping up in chat, I'm just going to name this character Retrothon and we'll get on with this. Initiate new game. Retrothon. Donnie Garbowski the Third Senior? I've only got 11 characters. That's as far as I can get. So Donnie Garbo it is. Congratulations, you win. And my usual answer to this question is no. I art not male or female. But the game does not offer other options, so I'm going to hold my fingers over the M and F, and whichever one happens to land is the one that happens to land, and then I will start the timer, because I didn't make the rules, I just adopted them. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, we roll. Okay. So, we go out for a walk in the middle of nowhere because we're disappointed with the way the world is going. A blue portal opens up, stuff falls out of it. It happens to be 2 books, an Ankh, and a map. One of which is called the Book of History. You sit under the willow tree, you read the Book of History. No, really, read the Book of History, because even in 1985, nobody read the instruction manuals. Right, we go through here, there's a Ren Fair over the hill. At the far end of the Ren Fair is a Wanderer's Tent. So we're going to go there. And the Wanderer inside is going to read our cards. It's going to offer us 2 options, A and B. There are 8 virtues of the Avatar. So we have to pick between A and B. Whichever one we do not pick gets knocked out. I'm going to choose Compassion here for Dexterity. Anytime Justice shows up, I must take it, because it is Justice that is the virtue of the Druid. Spirituality will take... There's Justice, so we will definitely take Justice, even if it weren't immensely better than Sacrifice. I thought it was going to be Humility. There's Valor and Humility. Valor's nice to take. So the 4 that we didn't pick are now eliminated from the pack, and she's going to pair them off in 2s. Valor or Spirituality? Ooh, that's actually a tough call. Valor gives us strength, but also gives us, well, Valor. So let's see here. We'll take Spirituality, just because it speeds things up a little bit. So does Valor, but Spirituality also gives us stats. Compassion versus Justice, we must take Justice. And this will be Justice versus Spirituality, and once more we must take Justice to recruit the Druid. Here we go. And our first task will be get the Rune of Justice. Well, that's easy enough, because we start right by the Town of Justice. The Town of You. And the Rune of Justice. I'm going to stop and talk to Talford. Is hidden well. Can thou honestly claim to be guilty of no crime ever? No, I can't honestly claim that. Then do thy penance in the cell, and with the felon search you well. Easy enough. Get out of my way. You vicious brute, thank you. Search, found the Rune of Justice. Next on the list, get the book. Okay. That's how we're going to do this game. That's how we're doing this game. We'll talk to Talford again, because... that's good for my humility. Here are the 8 virtues of the Avatar in numeric form. Every 2 digits represents 1 virtue. Those are my values in them. All of those eventually have to reach 99. So Honesty is first on 50. That's going to go down before it goes back up. Compassion, 55. Valor, 55. 65 Justice, because I picked it 3 times to get the Druid. 50 Sacrifice. 55 Honor. It would have been 50, but I just picked up as quest item. Quest items give you 5 points of honor. 60 in Spirituality, and 70 in Humility. And again, all of them need to get to 99. So I need to get the book. Okay, that means before I can do anything else, I need to get keys. And before I can get keys, I have to get to Vesper. And before I can get to Vesper, I have to walk all the way down here. And I have to avoid all this stuff here. And, oh, I didn't get attacked once. I said it, I spoke too soon. I'm going to get attacked now. We're going to come over here. Yeah, there's a guy. We're going to come over here to the town of Britain. We're going to swap up our weapon, which is a measly little dagger, for a measly little sling. I would like 1. Thank you. Now we're good. Nope. Ready to sling. There we go. Swap them up. Do I need anything else here? Not that I can get right now. Okay, where am I going to go? I also have to manage my trips to Lord Bridges' castle. So we're going to do that now, actually. And we're going to do the logical thing, and that is punch a jester in the face. And then run away. And this will make the guards mad. This is, of course, all intentional. So again, some of those virtues that I have to deal with are compassion and justice. The way this works, this is a bit of a hack to deal with compassion. So, it's considered compassionate to run away from good creatures. Guards, just because they become hostile, we're going to mix some spells here while I'm doing this. Just because they become hostile doesn't mean they're no longer good. I've been poisoned, that's fine. So there's two different conditions that any NPC can be in. Hostile or not, and good or not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, sleep fields, I know. Okay, so I'll explain that while I'm sitting here passing turns in front of Hawkwind the Seer. 76, and keeping count. So can be an enemy can be, or an NPC can be either hostile or not hostile, and can be good or evil. Most NPCs in towns are not hostile and good, but every so often you'll meet one that's not one of those things. Sometimes they become hostile if you talk to them too much. Regardless, the point is, running away from good creatures doesn't hurt your valor and is considered compassionate and just because they're good, and you don't want to do bad things to good creatures, right? That's the idea. So, you can trigger the guards by attacking someone in town. You can trigger the guards to go to hostile. And in so doing, make them attack you, but they're still good, even if they're hostile. Which means that, by running away from them, I get compassion back. And it is faster to get compassion this way than the usual way, which is to give money to the poor. I would rather beat up the guards than give money to the poor. In fact, not even beat up the guards. I'd rather run away from the guards than give money to the poor. Just 3 more of this. So what I'm doing here is getting my spirituality up. I'm prepping for that. Talking to Hawkwind the Seer is what is where you normally, if you don't have the code to get the information about your virtues like this, you talk to Hawkwind the Seer, and you ask him about things. Thou art not an honest soul, you know, compassion, you know, continued goodwill to be your guide, valor, yeah, those sorts of things. Every time you talk to him, you gain points in spirituality. Provided that, well, okay, what happens is he sets a flag. And he's going to count your steps. So what I was doing was waiting till 100 steps had passed, and oh look, everyone's forgiven me by going up a ladder. I am not the most valiant warrior. To say that I was the most valiant warrior, well, that would not be an act of humility, would it now? And here we're going to go talk to Lord British. And I'm now level 3. Look at that. Okay, my dexterity. I'm keeping a close eye on 2 stats. Strength is not that important to stat. It's a potential bonus to be added to your. It's a potential bonus to be added to any attack you make. Dexterity, meanwhile, more importantly, there's my 99 in humility. Dexterity is. Oh look, we're going to run away from guards again. Look at me. I'm such a lovable scamp. Dexterity, the way they... Well, dexterity is accuracy. It also reduces your chance of getting hit by a trap when you open a treasure chest. It's also way easier if those guards attack you and thus disappear from the map, rather than trying to push your way through them to get to where you're going. Let's see here, where am I at? 95 compassion. Okay, we'll take these other 2. I get 2 points of compassion every time I run away from the guards. Thank you. Okay. We have our compassion at 99. We have our spirituality and humility at 99. Next stop. We need to get some magic going. Also, I was explaining something and I've completely forgotten what it was. Cool. This is a fight. Oh, dexterity, right. You'll see how many, ooh, snakes. I can run away from that. Safely. So we need to get some magic over here. We'll head to pause. So when they converted this from Apple II to PC, they made a mistake in the calculation for accuracy, which means that it's really hard to hit things in this game. Some bridge trolls. Okay, fine. If you want to keep fighting with me, I'll take it. So yeah, it's actually quite difficult to land blows. So, and they couldn't figure out what the problem was. The problem was they'd forgotten a multiplier on dexterity when they were calculating the accuracy. So it actually, you're at low accuracies, you're actually more, or low dexterity, you're actually more accurate than in the original. At high accuracies, though, you get pathetically bad at hitting things. So what am I doing here? I am... well, the herbalists in Britannia are all blind, so I can order up 99 garlic. She puts the 99 garlic in the bag and says, that'll be 198 gold pieces, and I'll just throw one in the pot. And she's, yeah, okay, thank you. This is not virtuous, by the way. Anyway, so the thing with dexterity in this version of the game, the way they fixed, in big quotation marks, the problem, is that if your dexterity crosses 40, you have an automatic hit. So long as you have a target, you will not miss. Okay, we need to mix some spells here. The first one we're going to mix is a lot of blink spells. So in order to use a spell in this game, you need to mix it first. You need to have it prepared. So we're going to mix Blink, which is Blood Moss and Spider Silk. And yes, that does spell bed. Feel free to join me in chat by typing bed, 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 bed. Yep, that's going to fail. Yeah. I did it again. Tell when I'm out of practice. Yeah, bed, 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 bed. I'm going to use a lot of blink spells because they are one of the fastest ways to get around locally. Whoops. What's wrong? Each of the reagents has its own uses and lore behind it. We're going to mix some healing spells. We'll be using a lot of them, I'm sure. Can Dave D-spells. Can't even fly. We'll use a couple fireballs just in case. Be queried. Yeah, AEB. Quicknesses. This is a speed run. Quickness you would think would be very useful. Quickness is a very interesting spell when it comes to the game. It allows you to... It gives you double moves at random. So it's a 50-50 coin flip. I don't have anything. Okay, so we're gonna... So the way it works... Oh, I need to mix cure spells. The way it works is that every time you take a turn, there's a 50-50 chance that the quickness spell will trigger and give you another turn. The extra turns are counted in that though too. So on an extra turn, you can get another extra turn, and then another extra turn on top of that, and then another, and another, and another, and another, and so forth. Theoretically, it's possible to cast a single quickness spell and take out every fight in the game without ever, well, not with one quickness spell because they do wear off after a time, but theoretically, it's possible to use use a single quickness spell to get through an entire fight and never let your opponents take a move. Hey, let's see what Buck and Dave even. I have my little mnemonic for remembering the spells I want. Every letter has a spell attached to it. My mnemonic is, but can Dave even fly? He queried. Need lots of healing spells. It's your primary means of, healing. He queried seriously. So sleep spells. And then we also need wind change. So why would you need wind change spells? What good does that do? Well, you can see the wind at the bottom of the map there. It says wind west. Now it says wind north. The wind moves on its own. The wind blows where it might. We'll take a couple undead spells. They're not particularly useful, but when they are useful, they're really handy to have. Exit. Shouldn't need more than 10 of those. We'll mix enough just in case. Take some yups. So I figure the story with Y up and Z down, and yes, I say Z, I am Canadian. I figure the story with Y up and Z down are that Richard Garriott, when he was programming the game, ran out of useful things. He got 24 spells down, realized he didn't have any way to move through the dungeons, so said, well, I got 2 letters left. What am I going to do with them? Okay, but can Dave even fly? He queried seriously. And then there should be 5 more, U, W, X, Y, and Z. There we go. Yeah, we're just going to restock our reagents here. And then I'm going to mix the smelliest ever cure spell. I'm going to put in a lot of garlic. It doesn't matter how much of something, of a reagent you put in. But this way, we're going to buy that ginseng back. Okay, so what I did there destroyed my honesty, honor, and justice. And you'd think that would be terrible, but what I'm going to do is fix that right now by buying garlic at cost. That's why I made that very smelly cure spell. Every time I buy at cost or above cost, I get 2 points of honesty, honor, and justice. And of course, these virtues cannot go below 0, or below 1, really. So I only need to restore them by 98 points to get them back up to where they were. In fact, to get them higher than where they were. I mean, realistically, I have built this woman out of thousands, it'd be more than 1,000, possibly more than that even, gold. And spending, 100 on garlic, one bulb at a time, is enough to recover my honesty and justice and honor. So, okay, you can see now a bunch of 9s. The 57 is valor, and the 50 is sacrifice. If you're wondering what I have yet to master. We're also going to come over here. We're going to buy a horse. Yep, 100 gold pieces. And we are not going to go and get the Rune of Humility because that's not on the list yet. We're going to go down here. The blue stuff is swamp. If I step in it, I could get poisoned. In fact, I'm going to. Because I believe this is the spot I want. Boop. Yep, that's the spot I want. We're going to search here for something called Mandrake Root. There are 2 reagents that you cannot purchase in the reagent shops. They are Mandrake Root and Nightshade. They appear only in specific places on the overworld map. And you search for them, and you find them there. Let's see how much I got. 20. They come in batches. Which way am I going to go? I'm just going to mix a gate travel spell now and get out of here. I don't have the points for a gate travel spell. Good thing I checked. Okay. Cast a cure spell. So we're actually just going to head down here. And we're going to wait here for Moongate. So what Moongates are this game's fast travel system, fast travel network. The 2 moons at the top move in real time. You can see them shifting right now. Every 3 seconds, The second moon, Feluca, shifts one phase closer to the end of its cycle, and then the first moon does that. It shifts once every 3 times that Trammell shifts once every 3 times that Feluca does. So the whole cycle takes about 72 seconds. I'm going to ride up through here. So the horse moves 2 steps every time I tell it to move 1, so long as I yell "giddy up," which I have. Blink over some mountains there. There's another spot right here I can get Mandrake, which I will. Gonna kill these rogues. Kill these rogues on the. Oh, you're stealing my money. Stop it. I spent a long time stealing that gold for. I worked hard to steal that gold from Lord British's chamber, or treasury. So if I leave that there, that treasure chest there, it overwrites the properties of the square underneath it, which means I don't have to worry about getting poisoned while I'm standing there. This is the town of Vesper, or village of Vesper. This is where I'm going to buy a couple important items, specifically a bow, which I can use, flaming oil. We're going to buy 40 of those. I call it Reaper Killer. You may get a chance to understand that later. And we're going to come down here to the guild shop. Yes, I would like to see your wares. We're going to buy some magic gems. And magical keys. Could buy a sextant, but there's no point. I know where everything is. So yeah. We need some keys. And now we have some keys. That's a shrine. We're not going there yet. That's where we become partial avatar of things. Come over here. Blink down. I don't usually go this way. I usually go in the other way. That's the Shrine of Honesty. And we are just so honest. Blink over here. Blink over... Oh, MP too low for blink. That's okay. It does still lose the spell if I do that. Here's the Lyceum. This is where, finally, I will accomplish the 3rd task on the list. Give me this lock. We need a book. Library. Are you looking for a particular book? Yes. Which one? Well, I'm looking for the Book of Truth. Look under T. Alright. It's right there. Book of Truth. Next! The Rune of Honesty. Hey! So, I haven't done a task randomizer seed for a while, but very often what it does is send me all over the map and then split up the ones that are on this island. This is Verity Island. The book is here, the Black Stone, the Rune of Honesty, the Mage. There's the Rune of Honesty. Get the Orange Stone. Okay. I could also get my reagents here if I wanted. Orange Stones. That is in Covetous. We're going to take the Moon Gate back, and we're going to claim some levels. Also, standing around waiting for the Moon Gate gives me a chance to drink my water. Stay hydrated, folks! You're wondering what happens when you walk into a Moon Gate that's the same place, just takes you right back there. I want that one, though. There we go. Now, if I take the horse into Lord British's castle, what will happen is that I won't be able to climb the ladder, because horses can't climb ladders, which means the horse will get left on the first floor, and of course, at that point, the horse will then be abandoned and disappear. I'm now level 5. Donnie Garbo is now level 5. We're at 34 dexterity. I really need to get to 40. Okay. What's my intelligence? Only 24. Still can't use gate travels. Okay. We are going to go into the dungeon system. For some reason, Lord British keeps a dungeon in his backyard. I need my maps open just in case. My maps are open. So back here, this guy says, you know, his Landry, his job is to warn thee. Ahead lies a perilous place. Once thou enterest, thou mayst not return whence thee came. Wilt thou go on? Yes. Then thou art doomed! Yeah, it happens. I've been doomed a lot. It's okay. So you go in here, you enter into the depths. You can't climb back out. There's no ladder going up. But I can go all the way down to level 8. This is the Dungeon Hithloth. There are 8 dungeons in the game, one of which is the end of the game. This is the Dungeon Hithloth. The dungeons connect together, all but the Great Stygian Abyss, which is separate. I am trying to go to... Okay, I'm poisoned. That's fine. This is the Altar Room of Love. We're just going to walk right through here, right past these guys, right out here into the dungeon wrong. Now, what I'm going to do, I'll show you what peering at a gem does this. What I'm looking for is these little blue circles right there. That blue circle is a magic orb, and that magic orb, in this case, because the dungeon wrong will, because it is the dungeon wrong specifically, it will give me 5 points of intelligence and 5 of dexterity. It will also cost me 400 hit points. Those are gremlins. They're terrible. They steal my food. I don't want them to steal my food. So I will take as much opportunity to avoid them as I can. Stop it. And yeah, that's what happens. And we will yeet ourselves upwards, walk west as far as we can, turn around. 1, 2. And if I don't step on the center square of this room, I can just ignore those hydras. It's perfectly fine. I got put to sleep, and that cures my poison somehow. We'll drink from a healing fountain. We'll touch another magic orb. And now I have 44 dexterity, which means I cannot miss a shot, and 34 intelligence, which means I have 46 magic points. As a druid, the calculation for intelligence is, or for magic points is 150% of your intelligence. So I have 34 plus 17 would be 51. Okay, math! I know you're not supposed to technically do math on stream, but here I am. So we're going to down twice more. Didn't want us down twice more. Where'd I land? Okay, that's fine. We'll just do it this way. I want to down once more, not twice more. I'm going to cast a quickness. Boom. And we're going to dodge these gremlins. Look at that. Boom! Back into Hithloth. We're going to stand here in the poison field. Thank you. If you're wondering how I know where everything is, it's because I've played this game a lot. It's that simple. And now, anytime I have an enemy in my sights, I cannot miss. This doesn't mean I'm going to do a lot of damage, but I can't miss, which is kind of cool. Orange stone. Finally, let's get on to that. Covetous. Yeet myself up. Peer to gem. Alright. That little onk shape is the stone, is where the stone is hiding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. Search! Alright, what's next? Partial Avatar Hood of Honesty. Okay. Let's make sure we're there, yeah? Alright, so I'm in Covetous right now. I want money. I need some money. I want to get some money. Where is the money? Covetous, check the map. There is a lot of money in Covetous. I just have to go to the right place to get it. And that is to go up there and then up there. Okay. I'm going to ignite a torch. You're going to die. Now, unfortunately, because there's a stairwell there, the gremlin doesn't leave behind a treasure chest, because there's stairs there. Doesn't seem very fair to me. That's what a magic orb looks like. I don't want to touch it. Here's money. The reason I usually travel to dungeons in darkness is because, you know, when you're lit up, it takes this much time to process every step. There's more money in here, I believe. Yes, I need to go to... over there. Yep. descend. Don't touch the orb. That is the wrong corner. You can tell because it blew out my torch. Yeah. Back up 2. Climb up there. Yep. I've got another torch. Light spells are actually cheaper than torches. But you get 2 torches for free at the start of the game. Pulls down. Oh, look at that landing. Where am I facing? So this should be... Well, it will tell me when I go in. The altar room of love. I want to go through here and go to the altar room of... Yeah. 2, 1 of truth. Throw a quickness spell so I can get through it. Up to here. This is a dungeon deceit. Now, are there convenient anything here? If I go up to floor 5. Up to floor 5, I got at least 1. Floor 3 has 2 orbs. Okay. Just because my MP is lagging a bit. There's an orb there I can grab. So the way the up and down spells work. The heck? Oh yeah, that's right. The way the up and down spells work is there's a trap. I'm actually going to hole up in camp. There we go. Something you don't usually see in a speedrun, but I want to. So, the way the up and down spells work is that they scan they generate random coordinates on the target. They generate random coordinates on the target floor. So from here, if I use an up spell, it's going to go to floor 5 and say, okay, we're going to pick 2 random coordinates. Every dungeon's on an 8x8x8 grid. So it's going to say, okay, we're going to check level 5, we're going to check coordinates, I don't know, at random, 5, 7. You know, and if that is an empty square, then it will teleport me there, like that. If it's not an empty square, here's what I want. If it's not an empty square, it won't fail right away. It will check again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Okay, yeah. There's a healing fountain. Here's a cure spell, and here's an exit. There we go. And blink up here. It will check 32 times. So we're going to meditate on honesty. And we're going to check the next one, recruit the paladin. Okay. So once it checks 32 times, if it hasn't found an open spot, it fails. You need 2 things to get into to meditate. You need a rune to get into the shrine, and you need a mantra to meditate. So the meditation for the mantra for honesty is Om, A-H-M, Om, which is actually kind of meditative. Recruit the paladin. So we're going to have to go recruit a paladin. That is Dupre. Dupre the paladin. And we're going to leave poor Dupre dead. Partial avatarhood in the virtue of honesty. Granted a vision. Aha. We are going to make sure I've got a gate travel spell. I do. Okay. Haven't mixed any tremors yet. Tremor is the big attack spell. It's an all attack. Whoops. Make sure I get the Mandrake in there. Gate travel is the fastest way to get around, of course, because you're actually using those moon gates. Just have to know where they are. And recruit the paladin. Hey, Dupre, you want to come with me? Awesome. Next. Get the candle. Searching for a candle of love. We're going to get Dupre killed, because I'm a monster. We're going to get Dupre killed, thank you, because I'm a monster. He's a dead man, he just doesn't know it yet. We're going to head back over here to the Moon Gate. We're going to go get my horse back. So yeah, we're going to let Dupre die of poison. When I do a normal speed run of this, normally what I do is wait to the very end to recruit the party. A couple of reasons. But the main one is that overland encounters get worse the bigger your party. So to get the candle, we need to go up here. We're going to cast a blink over here. And another blink over here. And we go to the village of Cove. Don't need to talk to the Ankh. This little chip in the wall there, that indicates a secret door. You might have seen those earlier. There's the candle of love. I'm checking my experience every so often. Oh, I should actually see what my next task is to. Rune of Honor. So we just came from Trinsic. We're going to have to go back there now. Why did I gate here? Okay, so my plan was, I'll just go back to the Moon Gate, and then use the Moon Gate at Britain to get back to Trinsic. I could have just used gate travel to Trinsic. I'm going to blame that on it being almost 2 in the morning. Here we go. The Rune of Honor is down here, where I got Dupre temporarily poisoned. There we go. Get the horn. The silver horn is a valuable item. It's a 400 point of experience item is what it is. It also allows us to complete a quest later in the game easier. It's not a necessary item. In fact, when I do low percent runs, I don't get the silver horn. The Rune of Valor. The Rune of Valor's over on an island. And actually, I think before I go over there, I'm going to head over here. This is Magencia. This is where we wait for a boat. We will eventually need a boat, so I'm going to wait for one here now. I should have done this before I recruited Dupre, but here we are. Standing here waiting for a boat. That is a storm. Fun fact, it counts as an empty square, so I can step on it and walk away from the shore. I am now in the middle of the ocean. I can't actually move anywhere. Isn't that great? Anyway, the reason we come here, the reason we come to Magencia to do... Hello. Hi, I'm just going to stand here in the middle of the ocean and get attacked. That's great. The reason we come here specifically to get our boat is because it is... oh, this is where we want the wind change spell, except the wind already changed. Is because of the way the random creature generator works. There can only be 4 random creatures on the map at any given time. And that also, unfortunately, includes storms, which I often see. This is where the silver horn was. So we go to that spot because the creatures generate where you can't see them. They never generate in view, otherwise they just sort of pop into existence. And it breaks your immersion, you see, to just see creatures pop into existence. That would be terrible. Okay, we're in the right spot here. I'm going to sail over here. There are faster ways to get this rune, but I can sail over here. Yeah, we'll walk around. Hi, Max. Bye, Max. Here, we need our dispels. So, on that particular spot is actually fairly easy to get to. Magencia there. There's the Rune of Valor. What's next? Get the skull! Alright, I'm glad I got a boat. That particular spot is actually pretty easy to get the... to get a boat. Or to get to. It's pretty easy to get to because it's right by Moongate. And the only part of that area that is land is the area that you're visible on that small island. So the way the wind works, if you are traveling with the wind, you lose 1 turn out of every 4, like you can see is happening here. If you're traveling against the wind, like this, you lose 3 turns out of every 4. Frustratingly. And the winds are very fickle and irritating. If you tack alongside the wind at a 90-degree angle, so if you go north or south while the wind is east, for example, like this, then you get your best speed, no slowdown at all. Pure to gem, please. There's where I'm going. Right here. So the skull is going to be found right in this spot when both moons are dark, like I had to wait for Mandrake earlier. Anything I need to mix while I'm here? Not really. Not really. It all looks pretty good right now. Looks like it's pretty alright. Where is my water? There's my water. You also note by sitting on the mixed reagents dialogue, it is not passing my turns. The game does have a couple real-time elements, the wind and the moons, of course, and if you stand around in one spot long enough, it will just pass a turn for you. And skull. What's next? Recruit the Shepherd. Nobody likes the Shepherd. Oh, another pirate ship. Okay, good. Following me? Yeah, okay, good. Make sure I know where I'm going. Enemy pirate ships are also, curiously enough, are also subject to the winds, which is interesting. Dang it. I'm gonna get attacked here. Yeah. Not useful. Die! It's not where I wanted that boat to be. I was hoping I could get a second boat. But it was not to be! Alas. I mean, we're back to Magencia now. Because this is where the shepherds are. Magencia looks like it's a kind of a wrecked place. It was once the finest city in all of Britannia, and then it was destroyed by demons for its pride. Partial Avatar Hood of Justice. Way back at the beginning of the run, I received the Rune of Justice. Now it wants me to finish that particular quest. Make sure I've got all the justice I will ever need. And so other mechanics that make this interesting is party limits. The size of your party is limited to your level. I don't know what I'm waiting. I'm going to be using gate travel anyway. So we're back to you. The size of your party is limited to your level. So if you're at level 1, you travel alone. If you're at level 5, you can have up to 5 party members. I'm currently at level 5, but I have enough experience to go to level 6. What this means, because you are required in the course of the game to get... I hit the wrong button. That's okay, Katrina's already dead. She's not wasting my turns. Because you're required, in order to beat the game, to have all 8 party members, that means you also have to get to level 8. Level 8 is as high as your level goes. You require 6,400 experience for that. You will note when I kill something that I do not get experience in the hundreds or thousands. I will get 6 experience for killing a rogue. And that sounds like a lot of rogues to kill, but the fact is that picking up items gives you experience in the hundreds. Justice! My chance to take a break. Valor. Ooh, Valor is not nice. So, in order to get Valor, I require fights. Bah. Oh, stretch. So I have to fight to get Valor. I need to fight evil creatures and win fights with them. And every time I fight evil creatures and win a fight, there's a 50-50 chance I will get a point of Valor. I probably should have aimed to get my Valor up before recruiting characters, because now this means I'm going to have to fight larger random encounters. I do have the option of going back to... No, I don't have the option of going back to Maginsia and doing my cheap little killing townsfolk game. Oh, there's some evil creatures right now. It's a squid. I didn't think much of your game, so there. Take that, squid. Burn. Let's get down out of here. Let's go out of here. Partial avatar out of justice. Or of valor. Okay, so where am I right now? 61. Okay. $62. I'm going to start counting my fights. And after 40 fights, I will check my Valor. So that's 1. So yeah, Bridge Trolls also come with other kinds of monsters. In fact, most monsters can actually come with other kinds of monsters. Demons can fly, which is why it's going over the water. 2. 3. Looking for 40. 4. 5. There's no point in checking my Valor before that, because... 6. Because it won't have got to 99 if I haven't, you know, had that many fights. Now, the odds of it in 40 fights getting heads coming up every time in a coin flip is ridiculous. That's not going to happen. But still, you know, so I don't need to keep a perfect count either. Nine. See, what I should do the other thing I have to watch, I mean, getting the Bridge Trolls isn't such a big deal because I have to pick up the treasure chest if I want them to start another fight. But the other thing I should do is watch the number of treasure chests that appear on the map. So in addition to 4 slots for wandering monsters and actually 8 slots for monsters on the map entirely, because a couple of overworld events generate 8 monsters. We'll be seeing one of those at the end of the run. I think I'm at 13 now, but that's all right. I'm not keeping that close track. There's also 24 slots for non-creature items. So treasure chests, for example. If those slots fill up, the next thing to populate into that list will randomly overwrite another one. Now that list also includes my ships, so I really don't want them to be randomly overwritten. We have had runs go long or die because of random ship overwrites. Because there's the other, until we figured out how it works, we kept losing our ship. We couldn't figure out why. So the list populates from the top down, and I know it's 0 indexed, but I'm going to assume it's just for the sake of sanity. I'm going to say, so the first item on the list is item number 1. So item number 1 gets, so you kill a monster, it leaves a treasure chest behind. That treasure chest is item number 1 on the list. You kill another monster, it also leaves a treasure chest behind. That treasure chest number 2 is item number 2 on the list. If you go back and pick up treasure chest number 1, treasure chest number 2 is still item number 2 on the list. Number 1 is empty. So, that's important to note for a few reasons. Because when you take a horse out, or a ship, or the balloon, it will pop into, when you leave it, it will turn into an object on that list. So my horse is out there as an object on that list, down by Trinsic, as are both my ships. They're items on that list. One of which is sitting at Magincia, and the other one is stranded in the middle of the ocean. Oh, I didn't mean to hole up in camp. Hit H1 too many times. So, the deal is, with those... oh, hello. That's everybody. How's my... It's 76, okay. Oh, I was standing on a treasure chest. So yeah, so the list gets populated from the top down, from 1 down to 24. So that's the first thing you gotta know. So treasure chests, ships, or modes of transport that you're not currently in. Basically all that's on that list. Get over here. The pathfinding for wandering monsters is not great. Yeah, it's gonna get stuck again. Come on. Thank you. Now, if a ship is in item 1, is item 1 on the list, we consider that a bad situation. Because there's a balloon. And when when you leave the dungeon Hithloth by its surface level entrance, what happens is it generates the balloon. And that balloon, by its coding, always appears in slot 1, overwriting whatever is there. This is how we ended up losing ships and having to go get another one. Because the first thing we would do is get a ship. And in fact, as trauma from this, you will note if we go back to Britain in a bit, that there's a treasure chest sitting outside it. There's a treasure chest sitting outside it because I left it there. Because that was the first enemy that we killed, and it populated spot 1 on the list. It will disappear when I get the balloon later. Where are we now? 83. It's okay. This also gives me experience just in case I get the... okay, I'm at level 7 now. I've got the experience to be at level 7. Again, my party size is limited by my experience level. And experience is mostly gained by picking up items. Like, there's 5,600 points worth of experience, worth of items in the game. Every rune is worth 100 points. There are 8 runes. Every stone, every colored stone is worth 200 points. There are 8 of those. And every special item is worth 400. So things like the skull and the horn. So that's 5,600 points of experience, but of course with this randomizer, I don't know when I'm going to get the items that are going to give me all that experience. And as a result, sometimes, as I'm doing a randomizer seed, it's going to say, oh, you need to pick up your 8th party member now, and I'm nowhere near 6,400 experience. So, off to the grinding mines. Off to the experience mines with you. Sometimes you take your chance, sometimes you don't. I didn't. I should have. I should have recognized very quickly that I was going to be picking up companions, and I should have gone to grind my valor immediately. As soon as it said, oh yeah, you need to get the paladin. But it's also 2 in the morning, and I am, you know, not always that smart. Where are we now? 89. 10 more fights, hopefully. 1. Speed 90 if it gives me one. 2. Three. And the other consideration is, now my dexterity is 40. I don't miss, right? Four. $95. They might say getting 10 coin flips in a row is impossible. I mean, it's not. It's just highly unlikely. But I have done it. Not in this game. The very first marathon run I did was of Ultima 1. Actually, the very first marathon run I did was of Ultima 2. But my very first Ultima 1 marathon run. One of the things you have to do in Ultima 1 is rescue princesses. And to rescue princesses, you have to get a key from a jester. So you kill the jester, you get the key, and there are 2 cells, one of which has a princess in it and one of which does not. So it's a 50-50 chance, did the jester give you the right key? My first time ever running Ultima 1 in a marathon, the jester failed to give me the correct key 11 times. So I failed 11 coin flips. And my gold rounded out nicely to 6,000. Big problem here I have to watch to make sure I don't, like, get killed. So you also might have noticed that while I'm not missing anything, neither are they. Enemies that use ranged attacks, if they have you in range, they do not miss. There is no miss on a ranged attack for your opponents. Whether it's a rock that they're throwing like the Ettins are doing, whether it's an axe from the trolls, or whether it's a spell from a mage or a demon, they don't miss. Where are we at? 96. 97. It seems that my career of Ultima speedrunning is just one long succession of beating up jesters. It's kind of hilarious. 98. Because in Ultima 1, we have to kill jesters in order to get keys to open up doors for princesses, and that's our primary method of grinding. In fact, there's a spot in the speedrun where I just stop and kill jesters for keys. Ultima 2, I do a lot of grind, specifically killing jesters on the planet Uranus. Because why not? Those are actual words that a human person has said. I need one more successful coin flip. There it is. Okay. Okay, we'll take a breather here. In Ultima 3, I punch a jester if I want to kill Lord British. Not that Lord British is a jester, but that's how you get him off the throne, by punching one of his jesters. Rah! What's next? Rune of Spirituality. Once more, we need to go back and forth. Spirituality is hiding in Lord British's treasure room. It's okay, I wanted to go there anyway to get my levels and to get my sacrifice done. Because now that I've got a whole lot of money, I can afford to spend some of it at the healer. Rune of Spirituality. Yeah, I'm granted a vision. Thank you, yes. Oops. Magic points regenerate at a rate of 1 every step, whether in combat or anywhere else, and if you hole up in camp successfully, your magic points just get reset to your max. Yeah, I wanted to come back here and talk to Lord British anyway to get my levels. What's my experience at? 39. Okay. And we'll come over here, go through the secret door, and there's the Rune of Spirituality. What we got next? Get the bell! I need to get back on the ocean. And my boat... Get out of my way. Oh yeah, also if I'm looking at my... anything I've got partial avatarhood has now become 00. 99 is ready to go, 00 is partial avatarhood already. Now the catch is, if I do anything that breaks if I do anything against it that would lower my score, I will, what it says, it calls it losing an 8th. It says, thou hast lost an 8th. And you have to go back and get it again. So you have to get your score back up to 99 and then go meditate for 3 cycles again. I'm not in need of help, but yeah, I'll donate 100 points of my blood 4 times. And then I am needed of help. We need healing. Boom. No, we're good. That should be at 95. Yeah, one more. There's 99. Okay, my virtues are all in order. Look at that. We need the bell. Bell is found in the water. My boat is at Magencia. If I keep saying it, I will remember. Magencia is at spot 8, but I want to gate to spot 5 to get more Mandrake. The game only has Mandrake and no Womandrake, so make of that what you will. And of course, as you saw at the beginning of the game, it doesn't have Envy Drake either. Of course, I'm seeing wandering encounters with a maximum of... Hey, we're going to do a little cheat here. We're going to close the game and reload. I'm now seeing wandering monsters with a a group as high as... oh. Huh, it didn't recapture it. Yeah. Much to... Yeah. Okay, yeah. DOSBox didn't recapture it. I don't know why it didn't, but we're going to try again. Here we go. There it is. Hey! Now you'll note whenever I reload like that, the moons become both new moons, and that is the only time you can find Mandrake Root, when both moons are new. Mixed gate travels. Gate travels are the fastest way to get around. Boats are the slowest way to get around. I'm going the wrong way here, very deliberately, because I want to stop by another town. What I often do when I do these randomizers is I do them without... I forbid myself from using the gate travel spell. Not necessarily from getting Mandrake, because the Tremor spell is also very useful. Arms. I want to purchase a magic wand. 5,000 gold. I just want one of those, thank you. That's all I can afford. Ready. The magic wand, it is the best weapon in the game. So now I've got it. Not the most damaging, but the best. Oh, hello. Mystic swords are the most damaging. The magic wands have reach, which mystic swords do not. And besides which, at a certain point, the amount of damage doesn't really matter. Silly thing to say, I know. But the way damage calculations work, each weapon has a damage value. There's my other boat. And there's the Bell of Courage. Next. Get the wheel. Awesome. That is a shipborne item. I could try and rescue that other ship, but I'd have to, like... it'd be a very slow progress situation. You'd move, you know, you move one ship one square, and then move the next ship one square. Yeah. Anyway, oh, another boat. So yeah, damage calculations. There's a... get out of here. Thank you. There's the wheel from the cape. Boop. Get the green stone. Back into the dungeons. This case is the dungeon wrong that we need to get to, but that's okay. We're not going to go there. We're going to go to Hithloth, because it's easier to get this stone from underneath. So damage calculations. Every weapon has a value for damage. I don't know what they are. You can find charts of them online. I want greenstone. I want to go... No, I was right the first time. Altar of Love. But to that... Nope, this way. Dungeon wrong. Climb up is down. I landed in a bad spot. There are literally 2 squares I could land in that forced me to go through those 3 rooms. And I don't want to go through those 3 rooms. I want to go not through those 3 rooms. There we are. We're going to ready my Reaper Killer. And we're going to cast a Tremor spell. Put a Flaming Oil in front of me. And yeah, that Flaming Oil just sits there. Go away. And we need to dispel 2, 1, 2. And then here's the green stone. And once it finally calculates Rune of Compassion, okay, once it finally figures out what your actual the value is weapon plus strength. The weapon value plus your strength. It then generates a random number between 0 and that number. Oh. It may sound like I'm having problems. It's only because things keep shutting off. We need to exit, thank you. And now we need to gate travel. Phase 2. Get on the horse. Yeah, this treasure chest right here is my safety chest. So anyway, Rune of Compassion is, you know, up here. Right there. We want to recruit the Tinker. All right. All right, we'll just cast our way over there. The Tinker is Julia. She's up here. Hi, Julia. Join me. She's honored to join me. She should be. Rune of Sacrifice. We're in the right place for that. And this marks the halfway point of the list. Rune of Sacrifice is in the forge. There it is. Oh no, we're standing in the forge. Julia's gonna burn. Oh no. Recruit the mage. Okay. I can do that. Oh no, Julia. You're not well. What's going on? You're gonna burn to death if we stand there. Oh no. What a terrible thing. You burn to death. Okay. Moving on. Recruit the mage. Also fun thing, if you take a horse into the inn, they say, get the horse out of here. Because I guess horses don't need sleep. Recruit the mage. We've already been here before. There's Mariah. She'll join me. Next. Partial Avatar Hood of Honor. Head over here. Come on, get over there. Oh no, we're both poisoned. Whatever shall we do? Honor. Get the purple stone. Hey, we're not in a bad spot for that either. So yeah, my usual MO for doing these seeds is not to use the gate travel spell. Nice pun, thank you. If you try to take a horse into an inn, they think you're unstable. Ah! Ah! Love it. But yeah, there was a reason I was talking about that. I don't even remember what I was talking about now, let alone the reason I was talking about it. I'm gonna blame that on it being too... Oh yeah, gate travel. Normally I skip the gate travel spell just to make the runs something more than I'm going to teleport now to the next destination. I'm going to go around you. It also makes the horse much more valuable because I have to actually go places. But seeing as I haven't done one of these seeds for a while, I figured it would be prudent. Oh no, Mariah died. We're going here, blinking in here. Can't take a horse into a dungeon. We're going to cast us down. We're going to go east as far as we can go, south as far as we can go. Search east as far as we can go. Kill the slime. South as far as we can go. Search. There's the purple stone. And I don't have to fight you guys, because you're not evil. There we go. Purple stone got. Recruit the bard. Cast one. Exit. Get on the horse. Blink. Cure poison. We'll go see Yolo the Bard. Pay no attention to the dead bodies on the horse. Next. Get the redstone. It'd just be a whole lot easier if Minecraft would stay out of my game. No, it'd be a whole lot easier if we just did all the stones at once, like in the speedrun. But okay, fine, we'll go get the redstone. Redstone is in the dungeon Destard, which is right here. I'll leave the house outside. Oh, house outside. Leave the horse outside. 2 east, 2 north, descend, and then we're going to cast these down spells until we reach level 7. Oh, look at that landing right beside what I was looking for. Search. And I still just found what I'm looking for. Get the bluestone. All right, we'll head into Shame. We'll zip our way down one more. And we will mix a light spell, which is just sulfur ash, and cast it. Oh, good landing there, too. Yes, I want to come through here. YOLO's going to very bravely stand in front of these mages. How very brave of him to just stand there and take a bunch of hits for me. Well, I run out of the room. Do my own vanishing act. Oh no, YOLO is beset by wizards. He's surely going to survive this one. No, okay. We're headed in here. Take a little quickness to get around the hydras. Hail Hydra. And we will zip up. By contrast, that's about the worst landing that would be possible. That's okay. Wind goes out there. One trap, trap, dispel, fire. There's the blue stone. What's next, Johnny? The black stone. The black stone isn't in a dungeon. We are very close to it. Oh, shoot. It's not going to work. Right there. The blink spell. I often do a little explanation of the blink spell. Has to do with the way the world loads. The way it works. So, the world is loaded, and I'll pirate a gem just to show you. Once I finish these guys off. Ah, magic wand. So the world loads in as 32 by 32 chunks. The entire world is divided into 256 16 by 16 chunks. So this is 4 16 by 16 chunks stuck together. So there's an upper left, an upper right, a lower left, and a lower right. When you cast a blink spell, it sends you to the end of this chunk and starts counting back from there until it finds a spot. So if I cast blink to the east, it will go chunk and start going back till I find a spot I can land on. If I go north, it's going to stick me there because I can land on that square. If I go east, it's going to go 1 square over because I can't land on the water. And if I go south, it'll land me on that little island over there. New chunks load in when you are 5 squares from the edge. So if I were to move down 5 squares from the edge, it would load. If I were to move south to within 5 squares to the edge of the loaded chunks, I would thought process. I would unload the 2 northern chunks, and it would load in the next 2 southern chunks. I believe this is the spot. Sometimes I get it wrong. I did. There it is. Blackstone. Next! Rune of Humility. Back we go over here. Where leave my horse? Oh, it's at Death Start. Okay. I am running out of food. You'll notice my food is moving a lot faster. Your food doesn't care. Like it just detects how many people are in your party. It doesn't care if they're alive or not. Okay, market. Yeah, this is not the cheapest food. 30, so 30. Yeah, boom, done. That should hold me, unless I run into a particularly nasty pack of gremlins that doesn't want to die. But what are the odds of that? Well, now that I've said it, near 100%. But regardless. Rune of Humility done. Get the white stone. We're in the right place for that, too. What's my stats at? Ah, 6,400. Good. That super important 6,400 to get level 8. All I have to do is go talk to Lord British. To get that. The white stone, you're supposed to use the balloon to get here. That's what it's for. But also, you can just blink to it. It's right here. Right? It's right there. It's at the edge of a chunk. so it's easy enough to just blink into it. The Key of Truth. Now, start using... Now that we have the white stone, we can start using all the other stones we've picked up. In those altar rooms. So we have the altar room of truth, love, and courage. We'll go talk to Lord British while we're here, and we won't have to come back. Bing! Level 8. Good. That is off the... You know. Get out of my way. Key of Truth does not actually give any experience for picking it up, but it is a required item for beating the game. And I was doing a run of this recently, and I forgot to get the keys. It is a common problem. We use the stones here. Blue, white, green, and purple. Boom. Key of Truth obtained. Recruit the fighter. This would have been really nice if I could have just stuck around here. The best way to do that. I'm going to duck out at Destard. Get my horse back. Gazers! This is why I'm poisoned. Gazers will put me to sleep, and even at this late hour, they could do a ton of damage to me and possibly kill me. When you are poisoned, you cannot be put to you cannot be magically put to sleep. The game only allows you to have one status condition at a time. I wanted to come out to Destard. That's what I wanted to do, not actually to do the dungeon room, because I wanted to get my horse back. And gate to 3. Jalome. Max wasn't a problem today. There's the fighter. Partial Avatar Hood of Spirituality. This gate will take me to 7, 8, or 1. Okay, that is not useful. No, we're just going to gate travel. And wait again. I guess we can try and get Jeffrey poisoned while we're here. Thank you. Jeez. Poison resistant. Hey! What we're waiting for here is the Moon Gate again. In order to get partial Avatar Hood of Spirituality, you have to go to the Shrine of Spirituality. And in order to do that, you need to know where it is. In this particular case, it is in the Moon Gate of both full moons. So we just sit around and wait. How's everyone doing? This lovely late hour. I see 3 hearts there. Thank you, Lara. I'm glad you're doing 3 hearts, I guess. Alright. Partial Avatar Hood of Spirituality. Partial Avatar Hood of Compassion. Good. I'm awake. Yeah, that's... Yeah. I'm in the same boat. Conscious... You can see between my food and gold, there's an image slowly building. Every time I grab a partial avatar hood of something, it puts a new line on that image. This will put the 7th line of 8 down. I've got honesty, do not have compassion. I've got valor, justice, not sacrifice, honor, spirituality, and not humility. You've got caffeine in the fridge. I art granted a vision. Okay, and from here, partial avatar hood of compassion. I'm just gonna walk there, just because it gives you prey more time to die. Also gives me a greater chance of running into some horrible enemy. I should actually be saving more. There's a place I can teleport from. I think it's here. Looks like it lines up. Yep, there it is. Of course, that's not where I wanted to go, but, you know. This is where I wanted to go. Is the next run a randomizer as well? No. I mean, this isn't really a randomizer as such. It kinda is. It qualifies, I guess. Break the skull! Breaking the skull is not a necessary item on the list of things to do. The fact that it's happened so late is really annoying, because when you break the skull of the Wizard Mondaine, you get 10 points in every virtue. So I'm glad I hadn't counted on it, because sometimes when I do these runs, I think, oh, I've got the skull early, I'm going to count on getting the skull before I get, on breaking the skull before I go anywhere else. But we once more go into the dungeon Heathcloth. Oh no, Dupre is dying, or Jeffrey's dying. Oh no. Well, now it's not moving so slowly. There we go. Get out of my way. I already ran away from you once. What do you want me to do? Do that again? Alright. Open the door. We don't actually need to go anywhere, just exit. And here's our balloon. I did not believe this was possible. The balloon moves with the winds. The wind is south, so if I climb the heights, the balloon will go north. Of course, did that. So, we reload. Board the balloon. Cast 1, wind change south, KUSKULL. Drop it right in that exact spot. Otherwise, you use it. And if you hold the Skull of Mondaine aloft, bad things happen. Recruit the Ranger. Of course it wouldn't happen to be. Okay. So here we go. So we're going to use the balloon for a bit. So what's interesting is sometimes I will do a low magic run, where I will use only 12 spells without glitches, or 9 spells with glitches, to complete the entire game. That means I can't blink into... Okay, we're in the good spot here. That means I'm not allowed to blink into where the white stone is. Hey, Shimino, pay no attention to all the dead bodies. Key of Courage. Back to the keys. Okay. So I'll show you all where the white stone actually is. I want to go west. Thank you. So you're supposed to balloon over here. And yes, I do this without use of the wind change spell sometimes. Just because it's funny. Oh, MP too low. And it is right there. Then you have to land it. Because it's moving all on its own. And then, of course, I'd have to get out of there. You can only land it on open grass, too, is the other catch. The other thing I could show you is over here. Got past a bunch of turns because my magic points are too low. Takes 10 magic points to cast a wind change spell. True to what I said, my safety chest is gone. It was item 1 in the list. The balloon always spawns into item 1. Okay, what am I doing now? Key of Courage. Key of Courage. Okay, yeah, we're going to head back into Lord Bridges' castle. How many keys and gems have I got? 11 keys, 6 gems. Okay. Do 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 do. Oh no, Shamino's poisoned. So we're going to go into the Altar Room of Truth. That is not where we'll find the Key of Courage. Of course. We'll find the Key of Courage in the Altar Room of Courage. Shamino is bravely taking on 3 demons by himself. In fact, he's trying to convince them to lay down their weapons by demonstrating that he too is laying down his weapons. So in the dungeon shame, we can find the Altar Room of Courage. We've been here before. Next, get the yellow stone. Suppose we'd have to. I want to go back to Dungeon Shame. Gotta remember where I'm going. If you're wondering why I use Dungeon Shame, this is the Altar Room of Truth. This is the Altar Room of Courage, and it has a couple of nasty rooms between it. So it's much easier to go to Truth and then go through Shame to get to Courage. This is the Altar Room of Love there. It's the yellow stone. We'll need the yellow stone to get the Key of Love. Now, Dungeon Despise, the bottom floor of Despise is awful. So if I suspect, as I suspect, the next thing is get the Key of Love, I'm not going to stick around in here to do it. How many magic points? Okay, good. Level 5, we go east to the wall, we go south to the wall, we go west, 1, 2, we go north. That's the room we want. Kill a bunch of serpents. Step on that secret door, it opens up another secret door. Right here, boom, which opens up my way north. And there's the yellow stone. What's next? Key of Love? Nope, Partial Avatar Hood of Humility. Okay, for that, we're going to go back to Hithloth. But I'm not going to do it from here. Instead, I'm going to re-enter here. Go east, south, south. Ignore these guys. Try not to get poisoned, believe it or not. West, south. Search for the fountain. Nice free heal. Partial Avatar Hood of Humility. We're going to grab hold of the balloon again to get there. I stopped there briefly when I was checking where I was going next. Earlier, after I broke the skull. Once more, we don't need to actually do anything here. We can just exit out. It will load a balloon into slot 1, which would probably overwrite our previous balloon. Oh, we've crossed the 10,000 move mark. I know that probably doesn't mean much to the rest of you, but it does to me. Because at 10,000 moves, the game starts bringing out more monsters. There we go, enter the Shrine of Humility, and I will explain what just happened there. So, first of all, when you're in this area, anytime you take a step south, the game will generate 8 groups of demons. Unless you blow the horn first. When you blow the horn, that little red dot appears here, and it means that the game will not generate 8 sets of demons every time you step south. That's it. That's what the horn's for. We often use those generated demons to grind. Grind for experience, grind for valor. And I was explaining something. I need to start taking notes on what I'm explaining so that I can go back to explaining it. What do we got next? Key of Love. There it is. iArt grants a division. And there's the Valorian Isles, where we'll find Jalome. If anyone's interested in this game, by the way, either the vanilla version or the task randomizer, the game is free and has been free for a long time. You can go onto GOG.com. I'm out of winds change spells. All right, that's enough of that then. Key of Love. Once more into Hithloth, my friends. Once more. You can go on GOG.com, search it up. It is, like I said, absolutely free. There is no cost. It has been free since the 90s. I believe it was made. I believe it was made and distributed for free as part of the promotion for Ultima Online. I do highly recommend the game both as just a game and as a speed game. I think if you have any interest in the history of RPGs, this is a significant turning point. There's the Key of Love. What's next? Sacrifice. Where am I? I'm in love. I'm in love. I need to go to Covetous, which is... which way is it? It is this way. Exit out. Blink. There we go. Big props to Phoenix 4 who found that particular blink setup. The end of it, I didn't have. I just made up the first part of it, but I knew what I was looking for. Now the mantra for sacrifice is Ka, and you learn it from a bard in the town of Minok. It gives you a little rhyme. The raven sees, the raven saw, and in the corn he saith Ka. I don't know if you've ever heard a raven, but it is one of the most non-meditative sounds I could imagine. You know? So you're sitting there thinking of sacrifice, imagining the giving of the self above all other things, and thinking, you know. There we go. That is full partial avatarhood, which sounds like an oxymoron, but isn't. I'm going to hole up in camp. Hit my magic points back in a safe way, hopefully. Gives me a chance to drink. Here. Mystic Arms. We're going to go to 6. There we are. So the Mystic Arms and Mystic Armor, you can only pick those up if you are a full avatar. Or a full 8 parts avatar, whatever that means. We're out of wind change spells, that's right, because I was fooling around in the balloon. Another boat. We'll use the wheel, show you what it does. My ship has hit points, they just went from 50 to 99. If the ship's hit points run out, you die, by the way. The ship breaks apart, your whole party dies. It's less than ideal. Serpent's Hold. There's the Mystic Weapons. You can only find them if you have this full Ankh right here. The Mystic Armor. Fortunately, I have... I don't want to use the Mystic Weapons because my Magic Wand is better. I have a second boat, so I can just leave that boat there and go over here to Empath Abbey, right there. And out into the Oak Grove. Not the Ash Grove, the Ash Grove. There's the Mystic Armor. And we will actually use that, because it's the best armor in the game. And then the final step, find the Codex. We're going to go back down here, and we're going to slip around the backside. No, not volume on. I don't want to make noises. Yeah, if you are interested in speedrunning this, like I said, if you're interested in picking up, it is free. There are lots of resources on it. Do read the History of Britannia. Read your manuals. And if you're interested in speedrunning it, we have a small but wonderful community in the Ultima Speedrunners Discord. They also let me in there, so, you know. So we'll head over here. And we're going to quick save. We're going to go this way. And we're going to Purita Gem. Okay. What about now? Okay, so, interesting fact. What we are here, this is, about here, is the edge of the world. So, the world is a 256 by 256 square, and it loops around. If you are on this side of the line, it checks for your coordinates. If your coordinates are in the bottom 4, if the chunk you are in is one of the bottom right 4 chunks, this one, or these ones that would be here and here, a blink spell will fail automatically. But I'm outside those 4 chunks. I'm here. And this is where I'm going. So I'm just going to stand on the boat and blink into there. Save. This is where the abyss is. We threw the skull in here. Come on. Come on. Use the bell. Use the book. Use the candle. Enter into these great Stygian abyss. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Cast a quickness spell. Those are lava lizards. They spit out lava fields. Also, they just spit lava at you, which is kind of rude. Sleep spell. Quickness. Here we go. And out. 2, 1. So the purple fields there are sleep fields. If I step in one, bad things will happen. So what we're going to do is use a poison field to just overwrite that sleep field and get myself poisoned so I don't have enemies casting sleep spells at me successfully. You might have also seen a demon walk into that sleep field or the poison field and die. That's because enemies can't get poisoned. So the way the game treats poison fields for enemies is like lava fields, except that nothing is immune to them. So demons would be immune to fire fields if I tried to burn them with flaming oil. Same thing with dragons, Balrons. You guys are not something I have to fight, so I'm not going to use the stone. We have to know our virtues. Use quickness spell to help speed through this. Get out of my way. Every time the screen blinks, we haven't seen any Reapers yet, so... And those are Balrons, these guys in gray. Every time the screen blinks, they are trying to cast a... trying to cast a sleep spell. Of course, it doesn't work, because I'm poisoned. I need to mix some more heal spells. This is the benefit of being a piano player. Well, I'm actually an organist. Well, I do both. My fingers remember. They don't always get it right, but they remember the patterns. That's why I don't like mixing wind change spells. Ah, we've got enough heals now. Descend down to floor 3, yep. We go south 2. This is a nice quiet room. This is where I do a lot of healing. And then again, magic points recovered at a rate of 1 per step. We're going to step around, because if I step on this exact center square, it will unleash these walls, and I'll have to fight a bunch of demons. Well, I don't have to fight a bunch of demons, I'll just run past them, but still, I don't want to get hurt. Descend down. We go east. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go north 2. Go 1, 2. I'm getting trolled. Stop it. I'm standing in Firefield. We're going to cast a quickness spell. Get in here. Cast our undead spell, and then a tremor to follow it up. So the undead spell makes undead enemies afraid, but the game doesn't actually have an afraid status. So what it does is, in order to make them afraid, it reduces their hit points to the point that they would normally run away, which makes them more susceptible to tremor. We're going to throw, speaking of tremor, oh, that was a lovely gremlin tremor. I just gotta walk through here. Boop. Use the stone just to screen, and step down. Floor 5. Here's what it looks like. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Oh, I killed both Zorns. That means I don't have to explain what Zorns do. Cool. We're going to step on this. It opens here. I will warn people, if you have a splashing sensitivity, this room can be a bother. Because there's a bunch of Reapers in here, and they love nothing more than trying to cast sleep spells at me. So they are going to be blinking a lot, yeah. Acute and dangerous hack, yeah, the way they, I need to get to here. Yeah, stop blinking at me, please. The way they made the fear status work. In fact, it works the same in Ultima 5, so the fear spell is actually one of the most dangerous spells in the game for your enemies. This is another quiet room, so I'll use it to heal up. Gremlins. Every time a gremlin attacks hand-to-hand, it takes 25 food away. We go 2 south, we go west, south, and east. And we enter into the room maze. If you don't enter it from that exact door, you cannot finish it. That was a good quickness. Yes, those are storms as enemies. Yes, you can still walk over them. Decent tremor, thank you. The Balrons are also trying to put me to sleep. Spell that, step on there. I don't need to fight the other one. Ka-chunk. Tremor. Got one of them anyway. The way tremor works too is it also activates the fear response. Tremor carves out quarters. There's a 1 in 4 chance that it will not work. There's a 2 in 4 chance that it will reduce an enemy to the point of running away. And there's a 1 in 4 chance that it'll just kill it outright. And then it makes that check for every enemy on the screen that does not have more than 225 hit points or something. I can't remember what the exact number is. We're going to use another cute little hack here. So you can see all the enemies are flailing around. Those are headlesses. I'm going to use a sleep spell. And you'll see some of them have stopped dancing, right? These guys here, they're not dancing anymore. They have been put to sleep. Now, the game doesn't properly clear sleep flags at the end of fights, so I can walk in here and some of those enemies will still be asleep. Hilariously. Now, I mean, I also killed them all with a tremor, apparently. But that also means that the next fight I get into with enemies in those slots, they will continue to be asleep. Yep, these two right here. That guy and that guy. And these two right there. The way sleep works is that there's a 1 in 8 chance of it clearing every turn. The catch being, you have to actually take your turn for it to clear. So if you're not in the room to take, like if you're not in combat to take the turn for whatever reason, whether you've been killed or whether the party has left you there and escaped, doesn't matter. If you're not there to take your turn, you don't get to clear your sleep field, your sleep status. Yep. Stone. Spirituality. White. Descend. 1, 2. 1, 2. Cast a quickness spell. See if we can deke out the Balron. Oh, nice. Got 4 moves off that one. And then 5 moves off it to follow. Okay. Let me step on here. This is the bottom floor. We are almost at the end here. Step on that. Heal myself up. Step through here. Deal with these guys. Reapers, finally. Finally meet some Reapers. We're going to ready up the flaming oil. I'll show you why I call it Reaper Killer. Because Reapers are giant trees. So they just sit there, right? And they burn. They burn so easy. Reapers can be problems otherwise. Tremor, that's the companion room. It's full of companions. Go away. It's also the second to last room, so we're going to use it to heal up and prep for the final fight. Okay, here we go. Quickness, tremor. Step over here. I'm going to cast up an energy field there. We're going to go here and cast another energy field. Oh, okay. P? Yeah. There. But again, the energy fields act as lava, meaning that they do between 0 and 0 and 128 damage. To enemies. They don't damage us, they just poison. This treasure chest doesn't do anything except it opens up that and also this panel here, which is what you need to notice. That's a secret door. And you go past the treasure. And we'll just grab it just to validate the run. And use our final stone. Which you can forget in this normal speedrun. So we use the 3-part key. That's what I forgot last run I did. We need to know the word. I've already typed it in. It's going to ask us a bunch of questions. This is the final exam. The questions always come in the same order, always have the same answers, which means I can put my answers into the buffer, meaning that they will appear in the earliest possible frame. The game buffers up to 16 keys. I believe it does work in every other Ultima, yeah. I can't say I've checked it, but I'm pretty sure it works in the Commodore version. Because I have done a run on a Commodore emulator. It's the Commodore version that I grew up with. Truth and love are input in. And this will be coming right up on time here. One more. And then one more word to enter. I do have to enter a dead keystroke first. I use the backspace just in case. And when the word infinity appears, it is time. And that is... there. 1:55:13. Hopefully that'll help you get about 50 minutes back. There we go. And that is the task randomizer of Ultima 4. I like to go and check and see how many steps it was. 12,279 turns. Not bad, all told. For a while I was doing about one of these a day. It was fun. I want to get back to it. They're good for the brain. Because it's a combination of routing and puzzle solving and deciding when to do the parts that aren't in the list, right? When it is that you need to grind, when it is you need to gather reagents, all those things. When you need to make moves for your virtues. Whether making a move for your virtue is going to affect you later down the road. Because if you've boosted your honesty to max, you don't then want to go and start stealing gold, because that will take it back down. So it's a fascinating way to play the game. It's something I really appreciate. So big props to Cloudy Shoe for helping put that together. And by helping, I mean doing all the actual work. My name is Organ Mike, and I would be thrilled if you would come and spot me on my channel if ever I get back to streaming. I have been in the middle of a lot of music lately, so hopefully after my performance of Pirates of Penzance is done this weekend, speaking of retro, we can get back to some sort of regular streaming. So, but yeah, thank you for having me. I'm going to be back in a couple days with an all-nighter an overnighter of Bard's Tale Legacy mode, Bard's Tale Complete Trilogy Legacy mode. So that'll be fun. And something of which I have completed once and have practiced a number of times, but I've not actually done a full run more than once, so it'll be a good time. Thank you for having me, and do enjoy the rest of the marathon, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Take care.